Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you were scared to lose yourself in the process? This is the story of Emma and Daniel, two broken souls trying to find light in the darkest places. What happens when love isn't enough to heal old wounds? Emma had always believed love was a simple story, two people meeting, falling in love, and living happily ever after. But life, she soon learned, was far more complicated. At 24, working as a barista in a small cafe tucked away in the heart of the city, Emma's days were filled with the hum of espresso machines, quiet chatter, and a loneliness she hid behind a polite smile. She watched couples pass by the cafe window, hand in hand, and wondered if she would ever feel that kind of closeness, if she would ever be the one someone looked at with that kind of love. Then one rainy afternoon, as the storm outside mirrored the turmoil inside her, Daniel walked in. He was tall, with dark, stormy eyes and a smile that didn't quite reach them. There was something familiar in his silence, a quiet sadness Emma recognized because she carried her own shadows. They started talking, first about small things, a preferred coffee blend, the best spot to watch sunsets, but soon, those conversations became the highlight of her day. Daniel was a puzzle Emma was determined to solve, yet he remained a mystery. His past was a locked room he refused to open, but the cracks in his armor were clear to her. He was running from something, an old heartbreak that had left him hollow. Emma, too, had scars from a love that ended before it even began. They were two broken people leaning on each other, afraid yet desperate to heal. Their connection was instant but fragile, like glass, beautiful but easily shattered. Emma found herself dreaming of what could be, but every time Daniel smiled, a shadow flickered in his eyes, reminding her that some wounds ran too deep. She wanted to be the one to pull him out of the darkness, to prove that love could be the light. Yet, she was scared. Scared that if she tried too hard, she might lose herself in the process. One rainy evening, as the cafe emptied and the world outside was drenched in cold, Emma asked the question that had been weighing on her heart. Daniel, why don't you ever talk about your past? What are you running from? Daniel's silence stretched between them like a fragile thread. Then, with a voice barely above a whisper, he spoke of betrayal, a love so deep that when it ended, it shattered the very foundation of his world. Claire, the woman he once trusted with everything, had left him for someone else, breaking promises and leaving him with a hollow ache that still echoed in his soul. Emma listened, her heart breaking for the man she was falling for. But she didn't pull away. Instead, she reached out, taking his hand gently in hers. You don't have to be afraid, she said softly. I'm not here to fix you. I just want to walk beside you. In that moment, something shifted. Daniel's guarded heart cracked open, just enough to let a sliver of hope inside. They began to share more, fears, dreams, and silent pain. But healing was not easy. Their love was a fragile dance of hope and fear. Some days were filled with laughter and light, others, with tears and distance. Arguments flared, fueled by insecurities and the ghosts of former loves. Emma struggled with jealousy whenever Daniel's phone buzzed, wondering if the past still haunted him. Daniel fought his own demons, terrified that his scars would scare Emma away. Yet, despite the struggles, they held on. Then, just when things seemed to be moving forward, Claire unexpectedly returned. She walked back into Daniel's life like a storm, stirring confusion and doubt. Emma's heart broke at the sight, questions flooded her mind. Was Daniel truly over her? Could love survive the shadows of the past? Daniel was torn. The memories of Claire were a haunting melody he couldn't easily silence. He found himself at a crossroads, between the comfort of what he knew and the hope Emma offered. The tension grew until one night, after a painful silence, Daniel made his choice. He called Emma, voice trembling with honesty. I need to be honest with you. Claire is part of my past, but you are my future. I don't want to lose what we have. Emma felt tears prick her eyes. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, but in that moment, they both understood that love was not about perfection. It was about fighting for each other, even when it hurt. Together, they faced the shadows, learning to forgive, not just each other but themselves. Emma learned to quiet her fears, and Daniel found courage in vulnerability. Their hearts, once broken, began to heal, not by forgetting the pain but by embracing it as part of their story. Love, they discovered, wasn't a fairy tale. It was messy, painful, and sometimes terrifying. But it was also real, strong enough to mend broken hearts, if only they dared to hold on. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more emotional stories like this. What would you do if you were Emma or Daniel? Let me know. Your story matters here.